everyone, my name is Heba and welcome back. Let's talk about the new eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty, the Pretty Grunge palette. This palette came out the same time as the new one by Natasha Denona, the Xenon palette. And I was looking at them side by side and I thought, you know, I'm kind of liking the Pretty Grunge palette. The Xenon palette is more grays and cool tone, and I think it has similar shades in that palette. That's going to be a palette that I'm not going to be reaching for. And I did a poll on Instagram about the Xenon palette, and actually I did two of them because I kind of messed it up on the first time I did. It was the first time for me to do a poll on Instagram. And I asked if I should get this palette and do a review on it, and pretty much it was like 52% when I added those two polls together. 52% said no, so I was kind of thankful for that. So when the Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette came out, I went ahead and picked it up. And this one, it is cool tone too, but these would be more wearable shades for me, for my skin tone. So the Pretty Grunge palette is a smoky, cool tone palette of wearable and versatile shades, including a black eye gloss and sparkly blacks and silvers with finishes that range from matte nudes to multi-chromatic foils. And with this palette, you can create an everyday look, a grunge vibe, or sultry siren eyes. So this palette kind of takes us back to the 90s, the grunge era. And you know, we watch reruns of Friends and I'm looking at the makeup there. Yeah, I can see it with this palette. How Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and Lisa Kudrow, how they all looked with their grunge makeup. Now during the 90s, for me, I didn't wear that much makeup. But of course, in the age of YouTube, that's when I really started getting into makeup. But the 90s, yeah, I wasn't into the 90s grunge, but I'm kind of digging it with this palette. This palette costs $69, and of course, always try to find it on sale. And with it, you do get 18 shades in here, and 11 of them are mattes, which I kind of like because you can make many looks with it. And then you get 6 metallic shades, foil shades, multi-chromatic foils, and one kind of a cream. They call it a gloss. And looking at this palette, you can kind of see that this is more of purples, mauves in here, and you get some peaches in this side. Oops, the glare. And then this shade, Strong AF, I have to be careful to say the letters, not the full word or words. You can see that it's kind of marbly, but it's such a beautiful purple shade. And the other metallics are just so pretty. So you can make some really beautiful looks with this palette. So in this video, I did do 4 plus kind of a bonus one. I didn't do it on camera, I just showed you what it's like after the look because it was just a one shade and done. So technically it will be 5 looks. So let's go ahead and get into me unboxing this palette, do some live swatches and some looks. The first look will be on both eyes, and then the second and third will be, you know, one on each eye. And then this one will be set to music, and then I'll show you the one and done look. So let's go ahead and get into that, and I'll see you on the other side. Let's take a look at this palette. Clean, untouched, haven't been swatched, but let me show you the box first. Here's what the front looks like, and then the back, very small font there to see the ingredients. And let's go ahead and open it up. And pretty much the palette looks just like the box. It does have this little plastic coating that we'll take off. And then here's what the back of the palette looks like. Now let's take this plastic coating off. Very satisfying. The case is kind of plasticky, and it does have that mirrored font there, Pretty Grunge. And then let's open it up. It does have a nice mirror, and here are the shades untouched of the Pretty Grunge palette. Right off the bat, it looks a little bit more on the purple side, especially this side, and on this side it's a little bit more peachy from what I could see. So let's go ahead and swatch this one. Very creamy. And the first one is Liberty, which is a burnt peach matte. Let me swatch it a little bit better. Well, it does have a little bit of a creaminess to it. Okay, the next one is Heroin, which is a light peach matte. Okay, so we have a light peach and a burnt peach. There it is swatched a little bit better. Avant-Garde is a deep black and gold powder metallic. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty grungy too. I do see some gold flecks in here, but it does lean a little bit more purpley. And next to the peach, it's a great compliment. Renegade is an ultra black creamy metallic. I don't see it metallic though. It just looks like a creamy black matte. Next is Brave, and it's a mauve matte. And the last one on the first row is Beauty Chaos, and that's a lilac matte. Rise Up is a neutral brown matte. Then we have Stand Up, which is a copper powder metallic. Oh, that's pretty. That's got some shine to it. Next, we're going to go into this marble shade, Strong AF. I have to try to remember say the initials. This is a silver, black, and purple creamy marble metallic. Ooh, I kind of like that one. It does have like a dual chrome look to it with the purple and the black. Nirvana is an eggplant brown matte. Next we have Haphazard, and that's a multi-chromatic shimmer drops. Oh, that's a pretty purple. It's funny how it didn't look that purple in the pan until I dipped my finger in there. Now it looks purple because it looks a little silver. Now we have Fearless, which is a purple brown matte. Of course it goes over my wrist bone there. Hope is a deep neutral brown matte. That's a very cool leaning deep brown. Then we have Love Anarchy, and that's a taupe matte. Next is Maverick, which is a creamy silver metallic. Oh, that's very creamy and very sparkly and shiny. Rebel is a multi-chromatic shimmer flakes. Whoa, you just need a little bit. I do see a little bit of a pink lilac to it. But yeah, this one's kind of chunky when you put your finger in the pan, so you just need a little bit. Freedom is a purple gray matte. It looks a little similar to Love Anarchy. This one's maybe a little brighter, but they do look similar. And then the last one is Grunge, and this one's a cream, and she calls it a black eye gloss. So where can I put you? I'm gonna put you right here. So I have all the swatches in one arm. All right, so here are all the swatches in this palette, Pretty Grunge. And yeah, it is pretty grunge. Okay, that black eye gloss went on very nice. And I don't know which look I want to go for. Everything looks very pretty. Let me show you Rebel. You can kind of see that you just need a little bit because it did kind of gave me a little indentation there when I went a little finger heavy in it. So looking at this, of course I'm going to do a purple look. Let's go into the shade Rise Up and using the BK503 brush, and let's place you in the crease. Oh, and I did prime my eyes with the Suku eye primer. Let me build that up one more time. All right, you can see a little bit of color in there. Now let's go into Brave and just kind of place that lower, right below Rise Up. Okay, that one was pigmented. That one did have some color to it. And then going back into the first brush and just kind of blend that out. I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with this shade Fearless, and I'm using the Wayne Goss number 19. Okay, I like that you can build this up, but we need to be careful because this one is pigmented. I gotta try this shade Haphazard. That just looks so pretty. So I'm gonna use a flat shader brush. This is by Sonia G, and it's the Builder 2. So I'm gonna use a brush first, and this is one of the multi-chromatic shimmer drops. Okay, let's see how this will apply first with a brush. Okay, it looks more purple. Okay, you know what? I messed up. I didn't want to use that shade. I wanted to use this one, Strong AF. Oh, okay. Let me just kind of do that on the other side. Just place it in the middle. Because I was wondering, wow, that looks more purple than what I thought it was. Now I'm going to use my finger and use this shade, Strong AF. Yeah, that's the shade I wanted to use. And let's place you on top of that. Oops, messed up again. It's okay, just blend it out. Yeah, that's the shade I wanted. Because I looked at it here and then I looked at it on my lids like, wait a minute. That was the wrong shade. Really can't see that shade, the purple shade, which was Haphazard. Yeah, I wanted to use Strong AF, which is the silver black purple creamy marble metallic. My bad. Now for the inner corner, I want to use this shade Rebel. I'm just going to go very lightly. I don't know if I got any on the brush. Let me try that again. Okay, I think we need to use the finger for this one because with a brush, it looks more like a shadow topper. But it works, actually. I kind of like that. And let me just deepen up the outer corner, blend those two shades together. And then going back into the first shade just a little bit and just kind of blend everything out there on top of my crease. So let me go ahead and put some face makeup on and I'll come back and do underneath my eyes. I'm going to go into Freedom. Just place that all underneath my eyes. Then going into Fearless. And then let's go into Renegade. Even though it does say metallic, I just don't see it. I wonder if it's a typo or something. And just place you in the outer corner. Or in the bottom outer corner. Wow, we have to be careful with this one. This one's quite pigmented. Because I actually went a little too high. Well, let me just go ahead and just fluff that up. All right, let me finish and we'll see how this one looks. And here is the finished look. What do you think, guys? I really do like this look. It doesn't look, you know, like the 90s grunge. I think it's very pretty. Love that shade that I used in the middle, on my lid, which is this marble shade, Strong AF, which is this one right here. Very pretty. And it looks smooth on my eyes. I don't see much glitter. And you can see the matte shades separate. They didn't muddy up. Yeah, very pretty. There's a lot of sparkles around me though. There is some fallout with the swatches on my arm because I'm trying to fluff my hair and it just seems to be falling in my face. So I'll be rinsing this off first, but I just want y'all to see it one more time. The swatches, very pretty. All right, let's see what I can do in the next look. Let's see if I can either grunge it up or grunge it down. For this one, I'll be doing 2 looks, one on each eye, and I'm gonna try, hence the word try, to do a grunge look on this side and maybe an everyday look on this side. Again, try. Here goes nothing. Let me go into this shade Grunge, the black eye gloss, and using a flat shader brush, and let's apply you on the lid. Oh, this is kind of sticky. And I'm going to do it all over my lid except for the inner corner. I'm gonna try to keep that one empty for now. Okay, that is a pigmented black gloss. It's like a cream eyeshadow, but that is pigmented. And it's actually a pretty black shade. It's not too gray, it's not too blue. That's really pretty. Now I'm gonna go in with this BK Beauty. It's the 201, and I'm just gonna go in the crease and just kind of blend that out and up. Now keep in mind, I am not a makeup artist. I'm just a soon-to-be 56-year-old woman having fun with makeup without looking like I have a black eye. Okay, just kind of blend it out on the lid too. Just kind of smooth it out. And of course you want to use synthetic brushes because this one is a cream shadow. I want to go into the shade Wise Up and just kind of blend that up in the crease just to give it a little bit of a transition shade. And this brush is by Smith, and I believe it's 237. So I'm just gonna blend that up here. Using the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy 502, I'm gonna go into this shade Renegade. Sephora has it as a black metallic, but I think it's a black matte. And just kind of pat that on the outer corner. And hopefully this will kind of set that cream shadow. Okay, we're gonna have to trust the process, right? We're gonna have to trust the process because I know it doesn't look good. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go into the shade Avant Garde. It's a black and gold metallic. Even though I don't see much gold, I see a lot of black in there. Let's just see what will happen if I put that in the center of my lid. Since I did put this over a black base, I don't know if you can see much of the gold in there, but it looks kind of bronzy on my lid. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but let's just keep going. For the inner corner, let's go into the shade Maverick. Hopefully this will brighten up this look a little bit. You know what, let me just bring that in a little bit more too. Kind of a quarter of a way in. Okay, I wonder what will happen if I use my finger. I'm gonna have to use my pinky because all the other fingers are dark. I think that's all I'm gonna do with this one because that's pretty grungy. Now for this eye, we're gonna go a little lighter, hopefully a lot lighter. And let's go in with the shade Heroin. This is kind of like a light peachy shade. And I'm using the Sonia G Classic Crease. Oh, and did I mention that I'm using the Fenty Beauty Eye Primer? Actually, I kind of like this shade. It just brightens it up a little bit. And using the same brush, gonna go into the shade Liberty. This is the Burnt Peach Matte. And just place that below. Oh, those two shades are pretty. Let's go into Hope, which is this deep brown matte. And just place you in the outer corner. That blended very nicely, and I do like those three shades together. This brown matte goes well with those peachy mattes. Do need a little bit more though. Put it more in the center too. And it doesn't look muddy. Yeah. And this was the Wayne Goss number 19. I'm going back into the Sonia G brush and just blend everything out here. So I'm going to go into the lightest metallic shade here that looks, you know, not as grungy as the others. It's Stand Up. It's very creamy. And let's just put you in the center all the way in. So yeah, you can make a non-grungy look with this palette. I'm just gonna go with a small shader brush, just so I can reach in my crease with that shade. And then I wanna go back into Hope and just kind of fuse those two shades together here. I think I need to go a little bit more in. So there is some fallout with that metallic shade. Let me just wipe this off and kind of bring a sharp line here. So let me go ahead and clean up a little bit better, put some face makeup on, and we'll see what I can do underneath the eyes. Okay, looking in the viewfinder, I was a little surprised because one side's a little bit darker, but I have to admit, it's not bad. But let's do underneath my eyes. Going in with this little brush from Hermes that was in the Eye Quartet, and I'm gonna go in with that first shade I went to, not the first shade, but this light shade Rise Up, the one that I used above my crease. And let's just bring you all the way in. Using the same brush, I'm gonna lightly go into Renegade, because that is a pigmented black shade. Just concentrate it more in the outer corner. And then just kind of clean that brush off a little bit, and then fuse those two shades together from the top. All right, I think that's all I'm gonna do there. So I'm also gonna use a black eyeliner, just kind of give a little bit more oomph to it. For this side, I'm gonna go into this burnt peach shade, I believe Liberty. And then going into Hope. And that one will just be in the outer corner. Well, probably should have used a thinner brush. Okay, I'll just get the concealer and fix that. Using a small flat shader brush, I'm gonna go back into Maverick and just kind of do a little pop in the inner corner. And using the other side and going into Stand Up and do the same for this side. All right, let me finish and we'll see how these look. And here are the finished looks. What do you think? It's kind of throwing me off in the viewfinder because this side just looks so dark and this side just looks so light. But you know, I'm really impressed with this side. Those shades were very easy to work with. They blend out very nicely. And I do like that shade Avant Garde on my lid. And also using that silver shade Maverick in the inner corner and just kind of bringing it in a quarter of a way. Just to kind of brighten up the look. Do you like this grunge look? And then this side's very pretty, everyday look. Now I will have to say that the metallic shade, you do need to go lightly because it does look a little thick on my lid here. So I'm just trying to smooth it out. But even though I did apply it a little thick, it's not emphasizing my texture. You can still see some light to it. I kind of like them both, very pretty. So here's the grungy side and here's the everyday side. So for the liners, on this side, I went in with my Makeup by Mario liner and just did the top lash line, and then went within my favorite black liner in the waterline and just a little bit in the outer corner. And on this side, I didn't use a black liner. I used this eye pencil from Lisa Eldridge, Ground Coffee, to kind of soften it up a little bit. Instead of using black, I used that brown, and also put it in the waterline and a little bit in the outer corner lower lash line. But yeah, I kind of like it. This will be great for the holidays, for those, you know, black tie affairs. I think it's very pretty. I think it's very pretty without looking too, I don't know, overbearing. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I've done a lot of black smoky eyes before and it doesn't, you know, look as good as this one. It's a little different than the one from Chanel, their holiday palette. Love that one. That's another great palette for the holidays. But I don't know, using that black gloss grunge and then just kind of setting it with this black matte, I think it's a matte Renegade, and I don't see it creasing up, and then just kind of blending it in the crease and using that lighter shade, I believe it was Rise Up, just kind of tone it down there. I think I like this side. I think I like this side a little bit better more than this side. I mean, this is pretty for every day, but I like this one. So here's the grungy side. And then here's my everyday side. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more look after this and it'll probably be set to music. And let's go ahead and get into that one. Now I'll show you the look that I did. That's just one shade and done. And I was using this shade Fearless. Now I didn't do it on camera because it's, you know, kind of easy. I just got the brush and just packed it on my lid and just blended up all the way up into my crease. And then finished my makeup, and this is what it looked like. And it lasts all day. It didn't crease up or anything like that. So with this palette, you can really do a grunge look, an everyday look, a one and done, real quick look. And I have to admit, the shades in here are very pretty. They blend out very nice. It doesn't look powdery, doesn't emphasize the texture on my lids. The shades don't muddy up with each other. And I have a feeling this is going to be a palette that I'll be reaching for quite a bit, because I really did like the looks that I came up with this palette. The first one was beautiful. I got a lot of compliments on it. I believe it was in the advent calendar unboxing by Bon Mama. Thank y'all so much for the wonderful comments. And then the second look I did, that's that grungy look using the black gloss shade. Really did like that one. It's very easy to do. And then the third one, the everyday look, that one's real pretty. And then this one, another beautiful look with all purples, and even the one and done, that one was really easy to do. And I do like the darker shades on me for a one and done. The matte shades, again, they blended out very nice. The metallic shades, now I will say this about the metallic shades, you need to go very lightly in. You just can't get your finger and dig it in like we do with Natasha Denona, Chanel, Pat McGrath, or anything like that. You just need to go very lightly, and it comes on your finger. And it can look a little thick on your eyes. So be careful with that. Just go very lightly in, and you do get some pigment there. And the black eye gloss, it was very easy to work with. It wasn't patchy or anything like that. I don't think you can wear it by itself because it is a cream. It may crease up. At least that's with my experience with cream shadows. But once you set it with another shadow, like I did with this one, Renegade, on Sephora's website, it does say that it's a ultra black creamy metallic, but I don't see it. I see it as a black matte. And it stays on when you wipe it off. I mean, these are pigmented shades. So I'm hoping that was a typo on Sephora's website. But yeah, when you put those two black shades together, you can really make a beautiful look. And then this shade, Strong AF, this is such a beautiful, kind of a purpley, lilac-y shade. Very pretty. So I'm glad I got this palette instead of the one by Natasha Denona, the Xenon palette, because again, that's just going to be too gray. And it's going to be similar looks with that palette, and I think it's just going to be too cool on my skin tone. But I'm happy with this Pretty Grunge palette. So pretty, formula's great, and I will be reaching for this quite a bit. Very pretty purpley shades. And it's been a while since I've used any palettes from Huda Beauty, especially the big ones, the 18 pan palette. I like this one so much that during the Black Friday sales, I'll be picking up maybe one or two more of her 18 pan palettes. The Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette and the Empowered eyeshadow palette. I like to pick up those two. Well, alright you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me trying the new Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette. Doing 5 looks. Technically 5 looks. So if you liked and enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. It's still on my finger. Very pigmented shades.